Now, I know there is sort of disagreements between Russia and the European Union, but they're still under the leadership, the West, under the leadership of the United States. The United States is trying to re-engage Russia in a global affair to distinguish between the combination that happened or sort of cooperation between Russia and China due to the war and the sanctions. So Russia is important to be reinvested in the global affairs and the Middle East. And that's what the United States is trying to do, trying to isolate China because trying to concentrate on the economic, let's say, war or whatever you describe it with China. So basically, the United States now try to finish the few files that is still hanging since President Biden's time, which is the Ukrainian war, Middle East, Iran, even Houthis. We know that Russia is involved in Houthis somehow, support, and Africa as well, maybe will be like later on. So if we look at the bigger picture, as I said in the morning, basically Russia is going to be reinvested again gradually. One of the most important thing that now we're talking about, which is Iran, and is going to be sort of guarantor for the Iranian program, if that program still exists. I said like it's going to be 2 points of negotiations here. Keeping the program in a peaceful way or dismantling the program.
Yes.
Dismantling the program, that's easy. Keeping that program, we need sort of cooperation with Russia. And we know Russia is the one that facilitated and helped Iran to build all those nuclear plants.
Professor Krasniak, what advantages does Russia bring to the negotiation table that other actors might lack?
First, Russia is a nuclear power with very long story. Yes. And like I said, Russia is a member of the United Nations Security Council with a veto power. And actually, it's not just only about having this peculiar position in the United Nations, but also it's having direct conversations with other nuclear powers. And of course, I believe we have a consensus, and with the United States, and with China, and with France, and with Great Britain, about the acknowledgement that maybe it's not the good option for either of us to extend this nuclear power club. So, and in this case, so we understand, yes, having Iran as a nuclear power, maybe it's not a good option, but at the same time, allowing Iran or maybe helping and cooperating Iran on the different issues of using nuclear energy, that would be an option, and so that would be a great advancement what definitely Russia has, and also having this historical development of science and technology, and also a very important part in global affairs. So we had during the Cold War bipolar world. Now we have we're moving towards multipolarity, and Russia indeed is one of the another centers of the world. So and in this case, not so many countries would have this advantageization, but Russia definitely has it.
Okay, got your point. Professor Musmar, could Russian mediation actually help bridge the deep mistrust between Washington and Tehran?
Yes. The problem with the Iranian regime is stalling. If you looked at the statements that President Trump said, that he wasn't happy about the length of time of negotiation. But this is the game that Iranians are good at. They played it for 4 years during even Biden's time. Number two, they don't like to abide by the international laws and the watchdogs. So definitely, if that program will still considered to stay alive and to keep going as a peaceful program, Iran cannot be stalling here anymore, and we have to go into now discussion, the process, how it's going to go, and all that. Yes. So we're going to have to do two things. Number one, we have to watch that program and control it. And number two, we have to limit the resources for Iran.
We here, do you mean by we as the United States or the international community?
The nuclear international club. Okay. They're going to play together. They're going to play together in that kind of formula. As we said, none of them, besides, it doesn't matter what kind of relationship Iran has with whoever, the nuclear clubs, they will not going to accept the idea of another member to join, especially Iran. Number two, if we want to control that program, we want to keep it and keep it as a peaceful program. Now, we know that Russia had, in the past, had a big hand in helping Iran in developing that program. So if Russia will join the United States in the efforts of controlling that program by, like, let's say, quit supplying Iran with enrichments and all that, that Iran needs to increase it from 60% to 90%, which is like, we are kind of close in that range. And that's what require a kind of like speed up of the process before Iran that reach that level. And as I said, Iran is stalking, because that is like a time factor that Iran is looking for to force its options on the table that they already reached that level of enrichment. So based on that, yes, the cooperation between the United States and Russia helps to contain Iran program if that program will be acceptable to stay and be as a
And be
peaceful program.
negotiated. Yes, okay. Professor,
Negotiated as a peaceful program.
as a peaceful program, yes.